Welcome back, and today we're going to go over our roller control. We're going to review over our on base, half base, off base, and indentation. As you see, we've started off with a mohawk section. We have that parted no wider than our roller from center front to center nape. We'll turn her to the side slightly and get started. So the first roller placement we're going to work on today is going to be our on base. It is also known as our full base or full volume. What we're going to do is come in using our red roller. We're going to make sure that our base for our set is no wider than the circumference of our roller. So we want to make sure that base is the same diameter as our roller. So we'll come in, and I'm kind of a righty here, making sure that I am using my proper base. I'm going to take a nice, neat, clean parting all the way across my mohawk section. For our own base or full volume set, you're going to actually comb that hair out above a 90 degree so that when we roll this, our roller is going to sit completely on our base. So to make sure those ends are nice and neat over the roller. Roll this down. Making sure the hair does not fall off the edge of the roller. And when you've completed that one roll, it should be sitting directly on your base. You're going to pin straight into your base parting. Okay, don't pin your rollers to one another. It'll take forever for the hair to dry if you do that. So let's do another one. Again, I want to check my base, making sure that it is no wider than the diameter of my roller. I'm going to comb the hair above a 90 degree. Place that hair on my roller, making sure it's nice and smooth. Roll down and around. Again, that roller needs to sit completely on base. Pin into the base. We'll do one more, and then we'll move to our half base. Make sure that your partings are nice and neat and clean. Using on base tool position, whether you're using a roller or a hot tool, is going to give you full volume. So that means it's going to get the most volume that we can get out of the set. Again, this is on base roller control. That means our rollers are sitting completely on our base. Our next base placement is going to be half base. This is going to achieve medium volume. We're going to be holding the hair at 90 degrees from the base. If you remember, just like in pin curls, every roller set or every roller has a base, a stem, and a curl or a circle. Our base is the panel of the hair that the section we're working on lives from. The stem is the hair between the base and the first curl, and of course the circle or the curl is the hair that wraps around the roller. So again, I want to take my base and make sure that it is no larger than the diameter of my roller that I'm working with or my tool. Make a nice, neat, clean parting. And for half base, what this means is that the hair is going to sit halfway on and halfway off that base. Now I want to hold the hair at 90 degrees from the base. And if you look, it looks like I'm pulling the hair slightly forward, but in the front of the hair, that hair kind of lives in a forward position. So it is 90 degrees. I'm going to make sure that I clarified that for you. So I'm holding the hair up 90 degrees from the base. Putting my roller in, making sure those ends are inside that roller nice and neat. When I roll the roller down, it should actually be living in between the hair from my next base parting and the previous base. Still, we want to pin into the base and come in and do another one. We don't want to take a base parting wider than the diameter of our roller. Comb the hair straight up at a 90-degree angle. Place on our roller. Roll down. Again, that roller should live halfway on and halfway off the base. I still want to pin into my base parting. I'm going to do one more. Again, this is half base. So that means the roller is sitting halfway on the base and halfway off. It's going to give medium volume. You're going to be holding the hair at a 90-degree angle. When that hair is rolled down and that roller sits at the scalp, it is going to sit halfway on and halfway off of our base. And you want to make sure that you clip into your base. So next we're going to go into our off base placement. This is going to create the least amount of volume. We're going to hold the hair at a 45-degree angle back, down from the base parting. And when we roll this, it is going to sit completely off base. Get that little hair up in there. If we look at that placement, it is sitting completely off base. Into our next base. Make sure it's nice, neat, and clean. Again, we're holding that hair at a 45-degree angle down or back from the base parting. Off base placement is going to create the least amount of volume. And understand that the more times that the hair wraps around the roller or the tool that you're working with, the more curl you're going to get. Do one more, and then we're going to go into our indentation. So again, 45-degree back or down from our base parting. So then we roll in, and that roller sits. It's going to sit completely under its base. So this is our off base roller placement. Now, while we have these in, I want to go ahead and get into indentation. Understand that indentation is the point where two curls of the opposite direction actually meet, forming a recessed area. I'm going to come in and take, instead of doing 1 times my base placement, what I'm going to do is 2 times my base placement. So I'm going to use 2 times the diameter of my roller for this placement. So if I look, I've got one here and then here. So again, it's going to look larger because this is 2 times my base placement. Now the difference between a regular roller placement and indentation is, again, indentation is where we roll the hair in an upward motion. This is going to help create those flips in the hair, again, depending on the length of the hair. I'm going to come in. That hair is rolled up. And what you'll see is, and I'm sure that your instructor is going to have you dry the hair in this manner, and you'll be able to see that recessed area. This hair is going to lay flatter to the head. This hair is going to come out and upward. This hair that we've placed in our off base placement is going to come back, and it's going to have a little bit of volume, so you'll see a recessed area here. I'm going to tilt her forward, and we're going to do one more. We're going to use our 2 times base placement. Make sure that I take a nice, neat, clean parting all the way back across my mohawk section. Make sure I comb that hair nice, neat, and clean. When I'm placing the hair on the rod, I want to make sure that it's across the roller. Don't pinch it to the middle. If you look, it's a little bit more across. If you come in and pinch it, what you're going to create is a smaller curl on the inside. So it'll get larger wave to a smaller curl by pinching it. So to get a nice smooth curl, uniform curl, I'm going to make sure that that hair lays across my roller. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go in and we're going to do our base placement just as we would for an assessment. We're going to do 1 on base, 1 half base, 1 off base, and 2 indentation. We're going to take the same size base as the diameter of our tool that we're working with. We're still going to work with our red rollers. Come in, taking nice, neat, clean parting all the way across my center mohawk section. For my own base, I'm going to thicken this up just slightly. I'm going to come in, hold this hair up over a 90 degrees. Make sure the hair is nice and neat on the roller. Sometimes you can use the tail of your comb to help that hair stay underneath. You have that little bit of coarse hair you're working with. Men, roll this down and back. This has created our own base placement. This is going to be our full volume, our full base. Next, again, we're going to use the same circumference as our tool that we're working with. Make sure that I go in, make sure that it's nice and neat. This is going to be our half base placement. I'm going to hold that hair up at a 90-degree angle. Make sure that you comb it nice and neat away from the base. Place that hair on the roller, across the roller. Don't pinch the hair together in the middle. Come in, roll this back and down. And make sure that that roller is sitting halfway on and halfway off of our base. Pin it in. Our next placement is going to be off base. Again, I want to take the same amount of hair that is the circumference or the diameter of the tool that we're working with. I'm going to pull this hair back and down away from the base at a 45. Make sure that hair is nice and neat around the roller. And we're going to come in, roll under, and this is going to sit off base. Our next two are going to be our indentations. And for the indentation, I'm going to come in and take 2 times my base. Make sure that's secured in there really nice and neat. I'm going to come in, I'm going to take this hair, comb it down. Remember, our indentation is where 2 curls of opposite direction meet. I'm going to check my base size. I'm going to come in, take this hair, make sure that it's nice and neat across the roller, rolling up, making sure that it's nice and secure. I'm going to pin into the base. Let's do one more. Again, I'm going to take 2 times base size. I'm going to come in and check this. Might be a little smaller than what I need to be here. We'll add just a little bit more to that. Hold that hair down. Make sure that hair is all the way across the roller, not pinched to the middle. Roll that hair up. Making sure that it's on our roller. Make sure it's nice and tight and secured into the base. Okay, so this concludes our roller placement or roller control.